folks, Coach back at you. I've been analyzing in this channel a lot of the high performance throwers in the world, and I thought, well, why don't we take a step back? Let's look at an introductory video, and in this case we'll look at the shot put. And for those people who are just starting out, maybe it's the beginning coach or maybe even the beginning thrower at the middle high school level who've never touched it before. So I'm going to take you through the progression. We'll take you how to hold it, establishing a proper power position, and then we'll take you through a little of the progression in the glide technique. So so we'll be a part of that. So stay tuned. Okay, the holding of the shot put. The grip, if you will, on the shot put. The shot puts obviously come in different weights. This is a 6 kilogram shot put, but they come in different sizes, obviously, where it's age appropriate. So you have to consult the appropriate rules and for your age group to be thrown, whatever shot put size. Anyway, how do you hold it? A lot of people have an incorrect. I see in the beginning they kind of hold it down here in the palm. I don't know. That's not right. You got to get it up higher. You see this maneuver here where I've adjusted the shot put up so that it's resting on the fingers, on that top callus, if you will, of the hand, where it's right in there. You can see there's a bit of a flex in there. Next question, people say, well, Coach, what about where should my fingers be? Do I use 3 fingers on the back? Normally it's personal preference and the size of your hand. Okay, so clearly I'm a strong advocate of getting all those fingers behind the implement like this. The thumb is there for balance, but I want that flex right there to get that response out of the full throw, the last part of the throw, believe it or not, to get the optimum speed on the implement. So it's that little flex action there that you get on the shot to allow it to really come off the hand properly. Okay, so you want to get all the body into the throw. All right, so now the question is where do I position it on the body? Okay, the rule states it has to be in close proximity to the neck. Okay, so you want to get it right in here. Some people hold it up higher. It depends if you're doing. Now we're going to do the kind of the glide technique, so it's held a little bit lower than perhaps those spinners. But you can see here, I have the proper grip, and what you want to do now is in the ruling, got to be below the ear and above the shoulder, okay? So now we want to get the elbow up. I see so many young people holding it like this, elbow down. Get the elbow up. So this is a really good, strong position. I've got the shot, I hug it right in here against my neck. I got my elbow up high, and you can see here I got my hand position, so it's a nice straight push out with this, on an opposite, this here kind of response out of the shot. So when I release the shot, it comes out like this. So that's kind of how you want it to come out of this release position. Okay, so that's the starting point right there, and how I hold it, where I grip it, and where my elbow should be in response to that throw. Okay, let's move to the next step. Okay, now that we know how to hold a shot put in the proper position, under the neck, elbow up, how do we establish a good power position when we throw? Clearly, this is a very important point in order to have a successful throw. So what I'm going to do is let's get a close-up of our feet and kind of take you through that progression. Okay, to establish our feet, I got a nice little close-up here of how we should have our feet. All right, so the throwing sector is going to be in this direction, okay? So in that throwing direction, that's the way we're going. So how should we have our feet? To better look at this, let's bring our feet close together. So you'll notice that my right foot here, which is my back foot for the right-handed thrower, is offset by about a half a foot. In other words, here's even. I've stepped back this way and I have a half a foot displacement here. From that, what I want to do is to move that apart to just more than shoulder width apart. That's a really good position right there. Question is why are we offsetting it like this? The reason is that we need to establish a good throwing position so that we can actively turn that back right leg in order to turn that knee, turn the hip into the throwing sector. Clearly, if we have our foot to this side and we're trying to turn, you can't turn or make an effective turn to throw the shot. So again, back here, offset half, shoulder width apart. Next step, all the way here on the back. You'll notice I took my heel right off the surface. I can turn really quite easily this way, and that's really what you want to do. So in other words, we want to be really in this position here with most of our weight on the back leg, maybe 10% of our weight on the forward leg. And if you can move even more weight to the back leg for the right-handed thrower here, my right leg, This is really good action. So the action that you want to see your feet when you're throwing is this. So you want to up and throw, up and turn. It's kind of the dance, I call it. Yeah, we got to dance this way. Okay, so we have to have that proper position from the surface, transferred through the surface, up through our foot, like this, then our knee, our hip, into the throwing sector. So this is the way our feet should be in a power position, okay? Okay, let's put everything together. Let's put the footwork together with the position of the shot, and how should my body profile or body position be during the throw. Okay, first of all, we take the shot put, nice flex position, right in that neck area, okay, below the ear, above the shoulder blade. Want that elbow up nice and high. Want to take our feet offset. Most of our weight over the right leg for the right-handed thrower. Make sure you're on the ball of the foot, okay? And this will allow you to make that turn, which is all important. Now, what do we want to do? We want to disconnect the lower body from the upper body. What is he talking about? Okay, this is what he means. So this is what it looks like. Maybe that might be easier. So what I want to do is actually turn in this direction. You'll notice that my upper body rotated, but my lower body stayed facing the camera. Let's do that again. Here, rotate, and you'll notice we have a clear disconnect from the upper body from the lower body. This is really important to initiate all core strength and strength from the surface, or from the legs, the hips, the chest, and ultimately to the throw itself. So what we're going to do is put it underneath here, good throwing position. You'll notice what we want to do with the left arm is we just don't want it dangling and doing nothing. It's a part of the body, let's use it. So we're going to have it up here to guide the path of the shot. So what we're going to do is this. Establishing most of the weight over the back leg, we're going to turn the body to the back of the throwing circle. Hips are faced towards the camera. Now you can see I'm in a good throwing position. Left arm here is going to open the door. I call it opening the door here. It's really good. It initiates, it follows the path of the shot. So what we want you to do here is we're going to start from the lower extremities. So the foot's going to turn, the knee's going to turn, the hip's going to turn. I'm going to try to resist the temptation to release the shot in one movement. We're going to break this into pieces. So we're going to turn the foot, turn the knee, turn the hip, and we're opening the door, and then we're going to release the shot here. We're going to push the shot. You'll notice the front left foot is straight and in a blocking position is what they call it in shot put. We're blocking the left side because what we want to do is to have all that momentum come to an abrupt stop on the left-hand side, both arm, hip, the whole left side and the leg, in order to resist the rotation to the left side of the circle for the right-handed thrower. Then the release is made. Let's have a look at what it looks like. Shot here, elbow up, weight, allowed to turn, turn body, lean back, most of the weight. Look at that nice straight line through here. Here we go. And now what we're going to do is initiate and then turn and throw. Initiate, turn and throw. Initiate, turn and throw. There's the action that you want in the shot. Looks like this. 1. Easy peasy. Give it a try. Okay, now let's look at the step back drill as the progression here. We got the grip. We know where our feet should be in the circle. Okay, let's go back and move through the circle in a controlled fashion, especially for those beginning throwers. Give them something that they can be successful on and that will add some speed to the implement as you move through the circle. It's called the step back drill. So anyway, here we go. We're going to go to the back of the circle. You'll notice that my back is to the throwing sector. I'm facing the back end of the circle here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shot, I'm going to place it in the proper position underneath my neck, in my neck, and elbow high. Now I want to lower myself into what more of a kind of a half squat position. From that position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a right step back to the center. You'll notice that I'm on the ball of my foot. I need that mobility later. It's very, very important. So I'm going to step here, feet are together, slightly shoulder width apart, and then I'm going to take lower myself, go to the middle of the circle, stay on that ball of the foot. At this point, I'm going to take the left foot and I'm going to go to the front of the circle. Boom! Guess what position I'm in? That very same power position I was in earlier. So at this point, now I can simply open the door and throw the shot. It's a really good way to get young people moving across the circle before they be introduced to the glide. So let's have a look at that and see what it looks like. Here we go. 2 feet shoulder width apart. Shot underneath the chin, close to the neck. Hack squat. Right, left throw. Really good thing for the coaches. Right, left throw. Right, left throw. Not bad. Want to keep my weight over that back right leg and make that turn to throw that shot. Do that repeatedly over the course of your practices and you will get better to establish a nice power position. This just allows you to get more momentum on the shot. It's clearly not the shift or the glide technique just yet. Perfect this one first before you move on. Okay, let's assume that the step back drill, they've managed that and they've perfected that technique and they're feeling really comfortable. You can really establish some good throwing, but I wouldn't advocate it. It offers a really good quick position to the front of the circle. Clearly you can move and you can, if you have very quick athletes, they can be very successful using the step back drill. But what we want to do is we want to perfect that glide technique, right? So the good thing is that we're starting in the very same position at the back of the circle. In this case, what we're going to do is put the left foot back. In other words, it looks like this. So you can see I'm a little more than shoulder width apart. What I'm going to do is establish the shot put underneath in the neck area, below the ear, and I'm going to get in this position here. Now you'll notice how nice and straight I am. Most of my weight is over that right leg, okay? So what I want to do is I call it the pendulum maneuver. You take that left leg, move it like a big old grandfather clock. In, out, land on 2, I say, okay? So it looks like this. I'm going to take the shot, in, out, land on 2. Guess what? I'm in that nice power position. That's all I have to do. Yeah, it's easy for me to say. Anyway, come back here. Again, take the shot put, left foot back, nice straight line through here. Most of my weight is fairly distributed between the 2 legs at this point. And then what I want to do is really have separation between my 2 feet. In other words, when I'm making that kick, I'm actually coming off my heel or my toe. It's done both ways, both very effectively at the highest levels. Most people would advocate off obviously the heel. I've had some very good success with athletes just pushing off flat foot or off the ball of their foot. Both equally as effective. It all depends on the athlete. But you'll notice we've got clear separation between the legs here. We're asking them to push off the back, push away from the back of the circle, but at the same time we're asking them to advance that left leg to the front of the circle. Once they establish that nice power position, just follow back the basic fundamentals of throwing. Position, power position, and throwing, okay? So that's kind of the fundamental pieces of the glide technique. Let's show it one more time, and then, yeah, let's have a go here. So here we go. Shot, 2 feet together, left leg back, in a nice position here, nice straight line. In, out, land on 2. In, out, land on 2. And here I'm in that position. Let's try that again. In, out, land on 2. In, out, land on 2. All my weight over this back right leg, ready to turn here, ready to turn this, and then push that shot. From a nice post position. You notice I haven't done a lot of the recovery work in this because it's an introductory video. Get the young people establishing a good power position up at the front of the circle so they can accelerate that shot put and be successful at throwing the shot. Hope it was useful for you. If you have any comments or questions, down below is where you ask. Have a great one.